Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the UMO Coaches Show. I'm Elise Maynard, Assistant Director of Athletic Communications, here with men's basketball head coach Joey Higginbotham. Coach, it's been a little while since we talked to you. You had a recruiting trip last week, but let's just kind of talk about the Pickle Classic. I mean, that's always the big weekend to kick off the home season. So what do you think? How do you think the team performed and that weekend went overall for you guys?
It was a good weekend for us. Anytime you get 2 wins, especially on your home court, it's definitely a good weekend. We had great crowds both Friday and Saturday night. Friday night I thought we played kind of up and down a little bit, but pulled out a good win. Saturday we had to really fight for it.
Yeah.
Virginia Union came in and really hurt us on the glass, but I thought our defense is what won us the game. And we held them, I think, to low 30% field goal percentage and things like that, turned them over 20 sometimes. I definitely think our defense pulled that one out. So it was a great weekend. Got to see a lot of alums, a lot of familiar faces and all that. It's always good, to play Pickle Classic weekend, but to come out with 2 victories is definitely, makes it a little more, tastes a little sweeter.
Yeah, definitely. And out of Pickle Classic with the 2 wins, your senior captain, Tayon Gleaves, picked up Player of the Week.
Right.
How excited were you for him, and was he to get the honor?
Great. I didn't really know until like the day after. My assistant told me, he's like, "Hey, do you know Tayon guy?" I was like, "Man, that's great." So we had a JV game that night. I went over there and gave him a big hug and congratulated him. He had a great game Friday night. 27 points, career high for him, and he really sparked us and had a great weekend. And he's had a great start to the season, averaging close to 15 points a game. Been a leader, the things we need him to do, make open shots and things like that. He's definitely doing that, and he's working hard every day. And showing these younger guys an example of what it takes every day in and day out to what we need the level to play at. And he's definitely been a good leader for us.
Yeah, I mean, he's been an enjoyable person to watch on the court. How, with last week, you didn't have any games, Thanksgiving, how do you keep the guys focused when they go home for a little bit of a break and then come back to play tonight at UNC Pembroke?
It was a challenge. Anytime you get 8 days off or between games, especially during the season, it's tough. But with the Thanksgiving break, we came back on Monday and Tuesday in practice and went really, really hard, did a lot of running, maybe done our conditioning and stuff because of our style. And then we gave them off Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day to go home. Most everybody went home, be with their families or a relative or something like that, which is good to spend time with our family. And then came back, kind of recharged, and had I think we've had 3 pretty good days of practice, heading in tonight against UNC Pembroke. But it's a challenge, I think we're at that time, you get to where you practice. Okay, we need to play a game.
Yeah.
So I think we're at that moment. Our guys need to play somebody else, and see, it's a big test for us. Pembroke's a great team. They're really one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Very experienced. Won the Peach Belt regular season and tournament last year. So it's going to be a big challenge for us to go down to Lumberton and Pembroke area to play them on their home court. But we're excited and we're up for the challenge.
You touched on Pembroke's experience with a team that has 8 returners and 8 newcomers. How has your chemistry on the bench trying to figure out substitutions and stuff worked out through your first 4 games and then in practice?
Right. It's been, for me, it's the most I've played. This is the most players I've ever played in my career. But it's fun at the same time. One way it's been easier because we've been fouling a little too much, so that made substitutions a little easier. But I think our chemistry is good, and the way we're playing, guys aren't going to play for long periods of time.
Right.
We're trying to get our guys to go in there and give us 3 part minutes at a time. And we have a rule: if you take yourself out of the game, you come in and get your breather, you put yourself back in the game. So that the guys are understanding that, they're realizing that when they're called upon, that the number one thing they have to do is play as hard as they possibly can.
Right.
And hopefully that's overcoming, playing as hard as we can. We'll make mistakes, but as long as we make these mistakes going as hard as we can, trying to help our teammates out, we'll live with that right now. And we'll get, the exciting thing is as these younger guys get older, and, like one more game, one more practice, a little bit more experience, that, I see where we can really improve a lot.
I've seen a lot of really fun games out of these guys. So, and just watching practice is always fun.
Right.
And then following tonight's game, you guys go into Saturday, first conference game of the season at Emmanuel. Excuse me. How do you prepare switching from non-conference preseason games essentially to your conference schedule?
Right, you don't typically like to play a conference game this early, but we always do. And, going to Emmanuel, a 6-7 hour trip, overnight trip, things that we can do, together to help us bond as a team off the court, and play a very good, well-coached Emmanuel team. And TJ, he coaches those guys up, but they're going to be experienced. Right now, they're without one of their best players, but I'm sure he'll be ready to go Saturday, against us. It'll be a big challenge, to go on the road. To win on the road is a challenge, but to win on the conference on the road is another challenge. And we got to hopefully get tonight. Can't look forward to Saturday until tonight's over, but come back, get to work, have a couple good days of practice, and make a really good road trip for us this weekend.
All right, Coach. Well, we wish you luck tonight and
Thank
on
you.
Saturday. And this is Emily Maynard here with head coach Joey Higginbotham, and that's this week's episode of the UMO Coaches Show.
Exceptional degrees at an exceptional value. That's transforming education. The University of Mount Olive, transforming education, transforming lives. Learn more at umo.edu. That's umo.edu.